Are you afraid to check on your M-Pesa balance or getting an update on your bank balance? This is something that happens to many Kenyans, and the reason is you might have a money avoidance mindset. This is a situation in money psychology where your mind or your brain avoids conversations around money, and it manifests in many ways. So you may find yourself, you know you'll have to pay rent and you have the money, but you'll have to wait until the deadline or maybe after the lapse of the deadline for the landlord to call you for you to make the payment. In other cases, you may find someone who after a purchase or spending some money, let's say they have gone out, the next morning they are afraid to check their remaining balance. So what are the underlying causes of a money avoidance mindset? Number one, and according to experts, is the trauma of scarcity. If you grow up in a situation where money was extremely scarce, then it's possible to pick up some of this trauma, and this is where your brain now is afraid to confront anything to do with money. You may find people who, despite having money, they still prefer to borrow or ask people to help them with making bills or even avoiding making debt repayments even when they have the money. So having grown up without money could manifest itself positively, especially when you want to preserve the money and you want to keep as much money and to make the most out of your money. It could also come with a negative effect as a result of that trauma. So you may be afraid to check on your expenditure. This trauma could manifest in yourself being unable to even have money conversations. You may find yourself in a situation you don't want to bargain for anything, so don't want to negotiate a higher pay even when you deserve it, because conversations about money make you anxious. Number two is cultural conflicts or cultural upbringing, where you may find many Kenyans grow up in a situation where either because of the moral, either because of the cultural or religious background, they were trained to believe that money is a driver for evil. So you may find people believing anyone who was rich in their family was said to belong to Illuminati, to do witchcraft. Your brain may have some subconscious resentment towards money. So this will probably manifest itself in people who are especially afraid to have money conversations. Let's say you don't want to bargain, you don't want to talk about splitting the bill with your friends. So that could affect you negatively if you are not aware about it. Number three is the fear of responsibility. Managing money is an enormous personal responsibility. And for people who have little understanding of how money works, then they may have that fear of responsibility. That's why you may find someone, despite having a higher pay, is afraid to do a budget. Or you may find other people, they are unable to plan long term for their money because they have trained their minds to be afraid of anything to do with managing money. So how can you get away from this money mindset? Number one is to be aware of this money mindset, so that the first step, if you recognize and you are self-aware about this mindset, then that's the first step towards improving the situation. Number two is also to educate around money, so how people budget, talk to regular people about money conversations, how do they save, what are the mistakes they have made. Number three is to face the numbers or face your fears. So even when you feel anxious around checking your balance, make a habit of doing that yourself. Number four, start small. So for example, you could start with a small chama of 50 shillings in the workplace, so that you put yourself in situations where money conversations are normalized and they are not associated with shame. And with that, you slowly start to get better. And lastly is to reframe your money mindset. So this is where you start to see money as a tool that amplifies you, instead of seeing it as something that causes you embarrassment or something that causes you conflict with other people. Also related to this is you set boundaries, so that you do not find yourself in situations where your money mindset is causing you to either spend too much or even to ask money in inappropriate situations. So for example, if you have relatives at home and you have some money, when they ask for money, do not think of yourself as I have to do this because I'm a good person. Have a budget and decide this is how much I can give them. That's just an example. And then you do not go beyond what you can afford. Money240.k has written more about money psychology and how you can make the most out of your money. And we have a partnership with Lua. Through Lua, an AI assistant that's free on WhatsApp, you can now apply for business loans on Money254 and carry out other regular tasks such as set up meetings, set up reminders, create images, do research, or even seek help with your kids' homework. Visit money254.co.ke and you can start your business loan application through Lua, the AI assistant.